I never thought I'd be staring at a pregnancy test at 62. Two pink lines blurring through my tears in the dim light of my bathroom. The world would call it a miracle, or maybe a scandal. Headlines screaming about the oldest mother in America, doctors scratching their heads, neighbors whispering behind curtains. But for me, Margaret Thompson, it was the final twist in a life I'd given away piece by piece, only to reclaim it in the most unexpected way. How did a widow from a quiet suburb in Ohio, forgotten by her own blood, end up carrying new life? It started with betrayal so deep it cracked my heart open, but what came after, well, that's what shocked everyone. Stay with me. This isn't just my story. It's a warning, a whisper of hope, and proof that sometimes the universe hands you a second chance when you've got nothing left to lose. The morning I found out, the snow was falling softly outside my kitchen window, blanketing the garden I'd tended for decades. I was folding laundry, simple whites and grays, the kind that smelled like fresh detergent and loneliness. My hands, wrinkled from years of scrubbing floors and stirring pots, paused over a faded towel. It was the one my daughter, Emily, had embroidered as a child, world's best mom. I chuckled bitterly, the sound echoing in the empty house. The cold tile floor chilled my bare feet as I shuffled to the stove, the aroma of chamomile tea filling the air, steam curling like forgotten promises. These routines were my anchors now, watering the roses that bloomed defiantly against the frost, dusting photo frames of smiling faces that no longer visited. I'd built this life, brick by brick, for them. But where were they when the silence grew too heavy? I remember the day it all shattered, like a porcelain bowl slipping from my grasp. It was last winter, my 61st birthday. I'd been feeling ill, dizzy spells, aches in my bones that the doctor dismissed as age. Emily called, her voice clipped over the phone. "Mom, we're busy with the kids. Can't make it this year." Her husband, Tom, in the background, muttering about traffic. I hung up, the receiver heavy in my hand, and stared at the cake I'd baked, chocolate, her favorite, now mocking me on the counter. The house felt colder, the wind howling through the cracks like accusations. They hadn't come for Christmas either, or Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, they'd say. Tomorrow never came. Tomorrow never came. Flashbacks hit me then, unbidden, as I sat in my worn armchair, the fabric soft from years of hugs. I saw myself at 25, young and vibrant, sacrificing my nursing career to raise Emily and her brother, Jack. We'd moved to this house in Columbus for better schools, my husband Robert working double shifts at the factory, while I sewed clothes from scraps, baked bread from scratch. The smell of yeast rising, the laughter around the dinner table, those were my treasures. I loaned Jack money for his business startup, $20,000 from my savings, watching him beam as he promised to pay it back. "You're the best, Mom." Emily's wedding? I sold my grandmother's necklace, the gold chain with the heart locket symbolizing endless love, to cover the venue. She twirled in her dress, eyes shining, whispering, "I couldn't have done this without you." But as years passed, their warmth faded. Jack's business thrived, but the checks stopped coming. "Times are tough," he'd say. Emily's calls dwindled to texts. "Need help with the grandkids?" "No." "Okay." In-laws joined the chorus, Tom rolling his eyes at my old-fashioned advice, Jack's wife, Lisa, hinting I should downsize the house for everyone's sake. The house that held our memories, now just property in their eyes. The betrayal deepened like roots twisting underground. Last spring, I fell ill. Pneumonia, the doctor said. I lay in bed, coughing into the silence, the phone beside me unanswered. Emily finally visited, but not alone. Tom trailed behind, eyes scanning the rooms. "Mom, you can't manage this place anymore," she said, her tone sweet but sharp. "We think you should sell it, move to assisted living. It's for your own good." Jack nodded via video call. "Yeah, and maybe split the proceeds." "Fair, right?" "Fair." After I'd rewritten my will to leave them everything, their words gaslit me. "You're being dramatic, Mom. We're just worried." But I saw it, the entitlement in their eyes, the way they treated my sacrifices like debts they never owed. The necklace was gone, the money vanished, my time erased. Loneliness wrapped around me like a cold blanket, but in that pain, something stirred. a quiet rage, a whisper of self-worth I'd buried long ago. That's when the turning point came, slow and deliberate, like dawn breaking through storm clouds. I sat at my kitchen table one evening, the sun setting in hues of orange, sipping tea that tasted of resolve. Inner thoughts flooded. Why had I given so much, only to be discarded like an old key that no longer fit? Enough. Enough. I was 61, not dead. My mind cleared, calm, decisive. I called my lawyer first, the papers rustling under my fingers as I removed their names from the will. The house? I'd keep it, my independence locked in its walls. Then I changed the locks, the new keys gleaming like symbols of control. But the real shift? I started living for me. Joined a senior book club where laughter filled the air instead of silence. There I met Henry, a kind widower, 65, with eyes that crinkled like autumn leaves. We talked for hours, walks in the park turning to dinners, his hand warm in mine. For the first time in decades, I felt seen, not sacrificed. Our love blossomed quietly, like roses after frost. Henry understood my scars, shared his own. One night, under a blanket of stars, we decided to try for something impossible, a family of our own. At my age, doctors laughed, but science had advanced. We pursued IVF, discreetly, my body surprising everyone with its resilience. Hormones, appointments, the prick of needles, all laced with hope. And then the test. Positive. Pregnant at 62. The news leaked, a tabloid caught wind, headlines exploding. Ohio grandma defies odds. The world was shocked, doctors debating ethics, strangers sending cards. But my family? They panicked. The climax hit like a storm. Emily burst through my door one afternoon, uninvited, face twisted in anger. Mom, what have you done? Pregnant? At your age? This is insane. Jack on speaker. And the will. Lisa saw the lawyer's letter. You're cutting us out? After everything. Tom chimed in, blame shifting. You're selfish, putting a baby before your real family. Gaslighting again. We were just trying to help. I stood tall, my voice cold and dignified. Help? You took, never gave. This child is my choice, my life. Henry beside me, silent support. Leave the key on the table. They begged. Then stormed out, doors slamming like broken promises. Now, as I sit here, hand on my swelling belly, the ocean waves crashing in my mind. Though I'm miles from any sea, I feel peace. The house is alive again, crib assembled in the spare room. Sunlight filtering through curtains like new beginnings. Flowers bloom in the garden, resilient against the snow. I've reclaimed my dignity, set boundaries like fences around my heart. The baby kicks, a reminder that life doesn't end at betrayal, it rebirths. And the lesson? Dear listener, don't let sacrifice blind you to your worth. Let go of those who drain you. Embrace the unexpected. Karma whispers justice, and in the quiet, you'll find your sunrise. My story shocked the world, but it saved me.